Time now for an in-depth look at the market news this afternoon, and for that I'm joined on the line by Dr. Soo-young, Professor of Finance at Chung-Ang University. Professor Song, it's been a while. Good to have you back on the program.
Thank you, and good afternoon. Yeah.
Well, Professor, let's start with the U.S., where stocks had been rising ahead of the midterm elections, but with some uncertainty about the result and what it means for President Biden's agenda, stocks were sharply down on Wednesday. The S&P by more than 2%, the Nasdaq 2.5%. What's the story in the global markets?
Yeah, globally, all the market has shown that very weak performance and has been declined. For example, in the UK by 0.14%, and the crude oil futures also dropped by negative 0.55. Whereas the yen has been appreciated, its value is increased. So that tells us that a little bit weakening U.S. dollar is expected by the market, and overall, the global market has anticipated some upcoming recession, even though it is very severe or not. Currently, given the outcome of the U.S. midterm election, that is market expectation so far. That's what I understand, the current chart movement of the chart and number that is shown.
Right, and you mentioned the yen. The Korean won is also appreciated somewhat the past couple of days. And Korean stocks today, they started out lower as well, ended not by as much as the U.S., to be sure. In the end, a moderate decline. A gain for battery maker LG Energy Solution, though, back above 600,000 won a share, and foreign investors also picking up POSCO Chemical. Tell us about the domestic market, Professor.
Yeah, in the domestic market, particularly the secondary battery and the secondary battery materials, the company who has dealt with those materials has shown a very positive return. And mainly, as you mentioned, that the recent movement of the Korean won against the U.S. dollar is its appreciation of its value. Which means we have seen for the October, net inflow of the foreign capital has shown the positive effect on the Korean stock market, particularly for the, as you mentioned, the secondary battery material company and the bio companies and some a little bit electronics companies who has a very sheer size of the capital market in terms of in KOSPI market. So the inflow of foreign capital has has shown the shed the lights on some big companies' stocks value, but whereas small and medium capital assets or stocks has not enjoyed yet. So that's why we have seen that the current KOSPI index had shown just retained its 2,400 points. So from now on, at least this could be some positive signal, but we have a long way to go, I think, and upcoming the interest rate change is expected to rise, particularly in U.S. Then whether it could have some negative impact on the growth of the economy overall, so that means that a recession would be most likely to occur, then I anticipate some hopeful decrease of the interest rate hike in the U.S. Federal Reserve System.
Right, and you're not alone in that hope, Professor. Well,
yeah.
Looking at the crash in cryptocurrencies for a minute, this exchange, FTX, is on the verge of collapse. It's falling short by about $8 billion for withdrawals by its users. You know, like the Terra Luna fiasco earlier this year, this is affecting the whole market, really shaking confidence. Tell us about this, what you make of the situation.
Yeah, particularly this is the issue between some FTX and Binance, and particularly in the U.S. market. The FTX, as far as I know correctly, they are under some scrutiny by the SEC, Security Exchange Commission in the U.S. And also, this is a kind of, this coin market is quite subject to some information asymmetry and the opaqueness of whether it is truth or not. All I know is that the Binance founder, Changpeng Zhao, has mentioned they are going to issue the FTX's own cryptocurrency, which is called FTT, has been issued by the Binance. So that is interpreted as some kind of imminent takeover by the Binance of the FTX, but which is not at all proved truth, or we don't know yet. There is a huge uncertainty about that. That's why we have seen that some kind of coin run, which is equivalent to bank run. In the 19th century, in the laissez-faire regime in the U.S. economy, the bank run has been a very serious problem. It has often taken place. Because of that, then the central bank is established, and the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation also established to prevent such as frequent occurring bank run. That caused a really very unstable and the turmoil in the financial market. So all I can say, I will assure all the coin investors it is time to leave, take off, disembark, because coin is really the subject to quite a large bank run style uncertainty. So that's why this is just a very distinctive demonstration of this kind of a bank run in between the FTX and the Binance.
Right. Deposits in these exchanges are most certainly not insured like they are at the bank. Well, Professor, we'll have to leave it there for today. Thank you, as always, for coming on the program. We really appreciate your insights.
Yeah, my pleasure.